This conference will now be recorded.
Well, it looks like we have a small group today, Mr. Kevin.
Yes.
And we have Frank will be listening. So Katie, my name is Kathleen. I'm one of the moderators as well. We have 3 moderators here, Kevin, actually 4, Frank and Trina and Kevin. May I ask where you're from? Because I don't think I've gotten to meet you before. You have to unmute.
Oh, Flippin, Arkansas.
Very nice.
Yep.
Is this your first time with us?
No, I've been on, I don't know, I think a couple months ago.
Okay, so that was probably when I was out.
Yeah.
May I ask where your sarcoidosis is?
So far skin, but I'm worried about some neurological. I've been having some neurological stuff going on, and then I've got then I'm having heart issues too, so they're checking that here, getting ready to have a nuclear scan for it, so and stuff. So I'm still trying to get with Cleveland Clinic too to kind of have have a thorough check over.
Okay. Do you have a good doctors where you are?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, they, not really great. They don't know anything really about it. But at least the cardiac doctor finally was like, "Oh yeah, we ought to do." So they're gonna do that. Whatever, I can't think of it. It's like a
PET scan?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's not a PET. It's something.
MRI?
Yeah, it's an MRI, but they inject the dye in for the cardiac.
Yep.
So hopefully maybe that'll kind of, because it's just something's not been right, and stuff. So.
How long have you had the skin sarc?
I think 2 years at least now.
That was the first thing that happened with you as well.
Yeah, that was the first thing that I just kept getting these weird just rashes and thought it was from my dad passing, you know what I mean? And finally somebody was we work with kids and like, you've got scabies or bed bugs or something. And I'm like, and finally I was like, can we please, I'm like, cause it just kept different things kept showing up on my arms. And I'm like, she's like, let's just go ahead and biopsy it. And then it came back stark. So. They just kept having such weird stuff, and they were making fun of me. Like, what did you pick up now? And I'm like, I don't think I picked up anything, but it just looked awful.
Since skin sarcoidosis is not comfortable.
Yeah.
That's how I was first diagnosed as well.
Yeah.
So, have you looked at physician directory from the FSR?
I mean, I mainly just kind of I think mainly I just want to go to Cleveland and just kind of have it all, you know what I mean? So far, I've got an APN and she's been treating me so far with, you know what I mean? When I flare up, which is about every 3 months, it seems like here lately. I mean, I can tell, and she's been treating me with steroids. I've got a rheumatologist. He's like 45 minutes away, but he's doing about the same that he would. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, I just kind of tell her like I've got this going on, and it's kind of usually the same symptoms. Except this heart one was kind of a new thing that occurred and stuff, and stuff. So we just, so that's kind of what I've been doing. And finally, I think in July, I put in my referral for, I think the Cleveland Clinic then in July. So I haven't heard back from them yet, but.
Okay. Definitely work with somebody at the Cleveland Clinic. When I did go, I got a hold of a really good secretary. I'll try and look it up.
Okay. Yeah, she was one I talked to was really good, but then I just haven't heard anything back from them. And I called them a month or two ago, and they said they had I can't remember something. You know what I mean? They were still processing stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was able to see every doctor, but I was there for a week.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to do because I just have been having, you know what I mean, just so many different, and the flare, I just keep having flares, and then this new, you know what I mean, shortness of breath. And I usually have kind of some shortness of breath with the flares, but usually it kind of goes away, and it didn't, and then I end up in the ER 3 times, and they're all thinking I'm just, kind of crazy, and my blood pressures are really just not really weirdly erratic and just nothing's making a lot of sense right now. So, you know,
I think we've all hit that, right, Kevin, Trina?
Yeah. It's the last 18 months for me have been
yeah,
roller coaster.
yeah,
True. And it's good to know, Katie, that you do have a rheumatologist, which is extremely important for a person who has an immune disorder or
yeah.
deficiency. It's important that we do have a rheumatologist. That's what they're for.
Yeah.
Then,
I just, like I said, he's 45 minutes out, and I mean, he put me on Plaquenil, and I was allergic to it. So, I mean, we're kind of, I don't know how to say it, kind of out of, you know what I mean? I feel like with him, kind of out of options because he's just more local, and I think it just needs to all get, I just kind of want to get a baseline of where I'm at, and you know what I mean, and go from there with it.
Get a game
make sure your
plan.
doctors are speaking with each other concerning how they're
Yeah.
treating. Hmm.
Yeah, you're at a good point.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions or concerns for us?
No, I mean, like I said, I just finally glad I got to the cardiologist. So, I mean, other than just having just my low numbers of just, or the, whatever, the low number of the blood pressure just is really, really high at times. It just is not, none of it's, the numbers are not adding up. And then whenever I'm sitting, it's going up instead of going down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it just doesn't sound, you know what I mean?
I do. That's what the doctors look for. I
Yeah.
had a similar problem, but my blood pressure is always low.
Yeah.
So coming out of any kind of surgeries or any kind of pain, I don't know if it's from my past life or not, but my blood pressure actually goes lower. And they're like, oh, well, you're not having a problem. Yeah, I am. I'm at
Yeah.
like 25 pain right now.
I
You
know.
know,
Well, I mean, I was
I don't
having
know
like, I
that.
mean, like chest pains and they're going down my arms. And I mean, I'm, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff. And I'm like, this is not, you know what I mean? I've never had every time, usually when I've been to the ER before, I've been usually GERD a few times, you know, gallbladder out one time, you know, like the normal thing. But they gave me nitro 3 different times and it worked.
Oh, that's not good.
That's why I was like, oh, yeah, that's not a good, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
No.
And it took everything down. It took it all down.
Yeah. So when do you see your cardiac doctor?
I saw him yesterday, and then he's got all this stuff ordered. So,
Good.
So did he do the labs?
no, he didn't do any lab. I had a bunch of labs from the ER, so no, he didn't do anything further.
Do
You
you have
know,
a copy of those labs
yeah,
for
I've got a
yourself?
copy of it, and they were a little bit. Some stuff was a little bit high, but nothing. You know what I mean? But nobody ever will explain when anything is a little high or off, or I don't know. My APN gave me Xanax for my anxiety, and I was like, this is. I'm like, I know better. This is not anxiety. I'm a mental health therapist. This is not my anxiety. I don't have pain down my arm when I have anxiety.
Hmm.
I just
Yeah.
know better. So, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. You know.
Do you
At
have
least you're
a,
on top.
I'm sorry, Trina, go ahead.
I was saying, at least you're on top of it, and you're able
Yeah, I mean,
to make
I just, you
determinable
know,
identifiers.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm hoping it's not, but I just kind of want it ruled out for my own peace of mind. You know what I mean? Like, let's hope it's not. Let's just, because I, you know,
Katie, so can you explain to us a little bit more, give us a little bit more detail with exactly what your heart is doing at times?
it just, it just starts. I can just, I've just had pain down the arms and in my neck area, like in the arteries, like I can feel them in it. You know what I mean? And like I can feel it. It's not a normal, you know what I mean, a normal feeling to have that and stuff. And I think I ended up in the ER, I think 3 different times, and my blood pressure's not super high, but it's just the numbers are just flip flopping, just all over the place. And I've had like 6 times on the blood pressure thing that said it was like irregular heartbeat, you know, and just I've never You know what I mean? And like I'm setting in, I mean, I could be setting 20 minutes and it'll be higher than it was when I sat down.
Okay.
And I'm not anxious or watching TV. I mean, I
Um,
don't know how else to put it. There's no, you know what I mean? There's nothing exciting to me that's going on that should be making it raise to that. You know what I mean? Re-raising up and stuff and everything. And then I got like, so I got the second time I got like violently ill and just got pooped in the trash can. They said that was chest wall pain. I had one on Monday, and then I started having pain. I think one was right arm, the other was the left, and I started having the pains, and they just about threw it in the trash can at work. I mean, like double, like just like from raising myself up against the wall to like just about puking. So,
You need to get to the bottom of that.
yeah, I know, and I mean, like, and then I just had different ones where I just keep having, you know what I mean, and the readings are just kind of, you know what I mean, they're just not normal and stuff.
I can relate
You
to
know.
that. Just in August, I had 2 episodes back to back within 30 seconds apart where I do know that I have vegetation from the mouth. I do know one side is smaller than the other.
Yeah.
Um, we have tests for everything. Sometimes the PET scans and the MRIs doesn't always detect things.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in your case, you will be able to identify exactly.
Well, that's what I'm hoping because, like I said, it just is not. It's just not normal. And I've been tracking. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of good at kind of keeping track of all that and stuff and everything because it's just not. I mean, like I've had the sharp pains. I've had just different. Like I said, when the nitro and the nurse came in, I did do an overnight because they were running all the, you know, to see if I had a heart attack or not or whatever. And the nurse came in before I was having an episode and said, "Oh, I thought you needed me." And I went, "That means my monitor was showing something." But I was so sick, I wasn't even. And she already left by the time I was kind of back. You know what I mean with it. So it had to show something for her to be outside my door, knowing if she needed me or not. So, you know.
So, are you in a rural area of Arkansas or not?
No, we're up north by the Missouri border. We're about, I don't know, probably 30 minutes from the Missouri border.
So, a lot of your physicians are accessible. Is it easy to use?
What was it again?
Is a lot of your specialists, is it an easy commute for you?
Well, everybody's in Little Rock. Most of you got to go to Little Rock or Springfield, Missouri. That's pretty much it. That's why I picked Cleveland because, you know, I mean, we're talking a 3.5 hour drive if you go down to Little Rock. You know what I mean? And we've got some here, you know what I mean, 30 minutes away. But I kind of was just like, you know, and I was just kind of like, well, let's just go for it. You know what I mean? If we're gonna get a baseline and have somebody that could treat it, you know what I mean, continue to treat stuff, let's don't eat the cat. Sorry. Not like an 18-year-old cat that decides to walk. He just walks by and I don't know. He gives him dirty looks, I think. But yeah, that's why I just finally was like, well, I just need to go to Cleveland because I just keep having flares, but we're able to get them back down, usually with a steroid shot and some steroid packs. But it's just getting, you know what I mean. It just kind of takes out everything, you know, work, home life. You know, I just go from being like, you know, okay to being just where I'm just really sick. So it's just, you know. I mean, I've been off work for like, with the whole heart thing, I think like almost, 2 weeks right now and stuff because I just didn't, you know what I mean? I just didn't really feel safe being in the room with, I see preschoolers and I just really, even though it's a daycare on top of it, I just didn't feel safe being in there. Like I couldn't get myself regulated enough to be able to see them. You know, I mean, it's a whole different story whenever you got an adult and say, I need to step out for a minute, but, you know, I just didn't really want to be on the end up like I did the last time, just about on the floor, you know, because everything happened really, really fast. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
you don't want to scare the kids either.
yeah, I really don't, you know. So I'd rather just, you know, I've just been kind of monitoring between sessions that I'm doing and just kind of pacing myself in between just to kind of make sure that I'm, because I mean, I had chest pains during one of them, like two chest pains, and then it kind of it stopped. And I'm like, what do I do? Do you like pull? You know what I mean? Do you stop the set? I mean, like, you know, how do you exactly handle this? You know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was trying to figure out how to, you know, and nobody really tell me, you know what I mean. My primary care just didn't think it was anything, you know, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with this, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm glad you're trying to go to the Cleveland Clinic and get all the
Yeah,
tests done.
yeah,
And don't forget to bring any of your results to the Cleveland Clinic or
yeah.
fax it to
I'll have
them.
to probably get all that the newer stuff sent too. I had just sent everything, I think in July or August, sometime in there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll have to send the newer stuff and everything.
I hope they can see you soon.
Yeah, I hope they can too. Kind of figure out exactly what's going on, and you know, and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Kevin, can I ask you, how are you feeling? Because I know
Uh,
you were not doing that good.
Situation's about the same. So when I came off the prednisone over the summer, I started having issues with my feet, my ankles. It was showing up like plantar fasciitis. You know, really painful. I started getting restless leg syndrome. I was starting to go backwards on my sleep. I worked so hard over the year to get my sleep regimen and my, you know, to get everything to the point where I could get some sleep. And that started backtracking. Um, and then in late July, I had a discharge from my ICD. I got 2 therapies. The second one was I was in a shower with a companion, a woman I'm dating, and she got it too, the second one. So it didn't take the path of directly into the heart. It went through the back of my shoulder and then down to my feet. And now my hips and knees and ankles are just so achy all the time. And it's like whenever I stand up, it's like it takes me like 3 or 4 minutes to get moving. Strangest thing, don't know if it's related to the discharge or just the withdrawal of prednisone or, you know, the sarcoidosis has moved, which I do know it has. So I had another PET scan done a couple of weeks ago, and it's still clear in the heart. It's a good thing. But I now have about 5 or 6 lymph nodes around the lungs and the hilar lymph nodes and the esophagus that are inflamed and active. My lungs are more active. And last year I had 2 falls, one on the left side, one on the right side. And right now both of their shoulders are screaming in agony. The pain can be a 6 or 7 sometimes. And whenever I'm trying to reach up, I have full mobility. It's just what they call a painful arc.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing physical therapy to try and loosen it up and figure out. I got an appointment with an orthopod, you know, maybe a couple of cortisone shots or something. Or maybe I'll just go away when the prednisone, when my mind decides that it's not getting more prednisone. The withdrawal is over. You're not giving me what I want. So I'm going to stop playing with you and making you think that you're in pain. So I don't know.
For your legs, is it only your feet and ankles or is it your calves as well?
It does come up the back of the Achilles,
Mm-hmm.
and the hips too. So and I've been sitting for about an hour now. I started a professional
Mm-hmm.
call earlier, and then just kind of switched over into this.
Do you have a
And
neurologist? I thought you did.
I did.
Will,
I've got a full team.
will they test you for SFN, small fiber neuropathy?
Yes, they did.
And?
It's not that. So I have full feeling in my toes. Reflexes are normal. They did an EEG. Everything came back normal. It's just there's this pain and stiffness and hey Susie. So if that's all you got, I'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
swing
but I'm
it.
sorry you're heading back down the road. Different road.
Yeah, it's a different road. It's another set of challenges, another rabbit hole to go down, and still eating to combat inflammation and antioxidant, and that's been helping. My energy level is way better than it was last year. I was very heat tolerant this summer, so it's
Okay, good.
been 7 months down or 7 weeks down in Florida, and it was hot, and I was out golfing and riding my bike, and so much better than last year.
Good. It's good. Well, keep us informed, and if you need anything, we're always here.
Oh, yep. Thank you.
So I want to say hi to Susie. Hi, Miss Susie.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm late because I was having a meltdown.
It's okay.
Yeah, this is 2021 has turned out to be harder than 2020 was. It's just surprising. I didn't know we could type that.
No, but you are definitely a warrior, my lady.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like I'm sorry I'm late. I feel like I don't know what's going on.
It's not a worry. We were just talking. Katie is up in the Arkansas area. So, and right now she has skin sarc, but she thinks it's other places. So, looking forward to going to the Cleveland Clinic. I'm okay too.
I want to go there someday.
Yeah, as soon as I win Lotto, you're going.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you.
I am so serious. I want to win that Lotto, and I just want to help so many people. Right, Miss Trina?
It's because you're an angel.
No, I just.
Absolutely. I've been going to the casino and I'm like, come on, mama.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I just feel like you have been hit with challenge after challenge, and you still keep rising above. I'm in awe. Every time you put something up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to the corner.
Oh, me too. We hit 3 months in the hotel, and my husband and I both started having meltdowns. And it's bad. And this car accident has been bad. The one silver lining I haven't posted about yet is they're not totaling the car, they're fixing the car. Hallelujah.
Okay.
And so we should have our car back on November 5th. And then my husband can do Uber again. And in the meantime, I'm just going to have to play games to pay my bills. But yeah, and the people that are repairing our house, they called. What caused the meltdown is they called and they're like, okay, well, we have all the stuff out of your garage and we want to return it to you. So when's a good time? Okay, my garage has not been remodeled. It's still boarded up with plywood. Where the hell are you supposed to put the stuff? So I had to make a bunch of phone calls and scream at a bunch of people and then sit down calmly and talk to my husband. And then we're like, okay, bring it Tuesday at 10 a.m. and we'll put it in the living room. We'll go through it. And I can't even believe that. Just saying that out loud right now, it sounds nutso, doesn't it? The contents of my garage are going in my living room.
Yes.
Not at all. We go through these challenges for a reason. And sometimes we just gotta sit back and reevaluate the situation and go at it after you do your evaluation. So just hang in there. That ride is going to be a little bumpy, but you're going to get through it and you're going to be fine.
Thank you,
Both of
Trina.
you, you'll be fine. Don't overthink it. Mind
Thank
over
you.
matter. Mind over matter, always.
Okay. I'm working on it. I'm
hmm
working on it.
Just breathe.
But
One day at a
Katie,
time.
I'm sorry, Trina. I don't mean to interrupt you. I
I was saying
apologize.
one day at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time. It's growth is gradual. So don't think that, the blink of an eye, it all can happen. Just pace yourself. Do what you can when you can.
You're right. All these triggers, every trigger shows you something to heal. It's just a magnifying glass saying, oh, look, you got a spot to heal. Let's do that right now.
Sometimes it's not possible to do it right then and there. So just pace yourself. You and your husband, pace yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself. Please
Okay,
don't.
thank you. Thank you.
hmm
I don't know if
Well,
anybody else I'm sorry, Susie, I'll just tell you real quick because we have Frank, who he is. If you look now, instead of listening, he's lurking,
I love that. That was the first thing I noticed. Frank will be
The
lurking.
shadow.
right? Shadow knows. Wasn't that a TV show?
Yes.
So Trina, may
So,
I ask how you're doing?
well, you know me, never looking back. And I'm that racehorse, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm in a new position with a new agency. And can you take this off a recording for a minute?
Opinion
This
is if you have
conference
to
will
quit
now be recorded.
advocating so that you can go make a difference in there, you go, girl, because we need you.
I'm trying. I'm just gonna, like I said to you, I'm pacing myself. I'm trying to get more peripheral view of what's taking place and how things are being processed. Um, it's going to be a struggle. We're now in what? Get ready and go to another election in another year or so. It's really difficult. You can keep bringing these issues up, but if it's a revolving door on the other side, what do you do? What do you do? And I really need to be planted in DC so that I can convey this message over and over and over until they get tired of seeing me, hearing me, and feeling me. Because I'm not trying to take the subtle approach. I'm not trying to be abrupt, but we need to be heard. This is ridiculous. I never thought that this was the case. I have heard plenty of times of people being denied, but now I get to understand that there's criteria. Then you're not just being denied to just be denied. There's criteria. And a lot of times people are not meeting what's in place. And it starts on a federal level. And how I'm gonna get there, how we're gonna get there, is just something I have to keep brainstorming, and hopefully those doors will be opened up and that we'll be able to sit at that round table, long table, or maybe we need to make a table and a chair. I have to figure it out, see how we can wiggle our way in. It's a lot.
It is a lot, and any way that we can help you, again, just reach out, because we want you to have the job. We, of course, to advocate, but the job is super important to your home life.
Yes.
So if you need the exterior people working, that they don't know that the interior is working, then we can do that.
Okay. Sounds like a
Okay.
plan. Thank you.
So
Yes,
anytime.
absolutely.
Be more than happy to help out, Trini. I've
Thank you.
done so much research over the past year. I can support you with lots of scholarly articles, or even medical doctors that know the full gamut that will come on and do a presentation, or whatever you need.
Thank you. It's going to be needed. Appreciate it. So in August, I lost my dad,
Oh,
and way things went down wasn't pleasant, but um, haven't had a chance to really grieve. My son, within the same month, no, in July, excuse me, had fell and fractured his leg in 19 places. He's upstate New York, and for both, I wasn't there. He hopefully will get to keep that leg. Right now, he has an infection in the bone. It's not looking good, but prayerfully, everything will work out. So that's where I am mentally. It's not, I always have to say this, I'm always the core, if you get what I'm saying, when it comes to um, people that I love, people that I admire. I always seem to be the core of the mishaps. It's not enough celebration. So I'm hoping going into this new year, there's nothing but celebration for all that I love and all that I'm connected to.
yes, I support that.
Me too. Amen to that.
Hmm.
We all need it.
Yes. So Kevin, probably data. If you have any data and some articles, you can go ahead and shoot it to my email so I can go ahead and get started. I will bring this up with the national organization. Oh, I'm a council member of NORD for Georgia. So I'm gonna plug in that way. You have a lot of sponsors. You have a lot of pharmaceutical members on that board. So I think that would be a go. Even though it's on a state level, if I could brainstorm with them and pick at their brains and get some information from them on how to go about it, and then y'all can be the voice. That makes sense?
Yeah, so help me understand what you're looking for from me. Data on types of, like, for example, what comes to my mind is articles like 20% of sarcoidosis patients resolve quickly, 40%, or maybe it's the other way around, but the other portion tend to go on with this chronic, recurring, smoldering, different organs, multiple decades relationship with this disease.
That part, that second statement.
Right. There's also lots of data about, okay, of the sarcoidosis patients we studied, 25% have it in the, um, lymph nodes, 40% have it in their lungs, 5% have it in their heart. The breakdown of by organ involvement, that's some other things that I've run across.
Oh
But
yeah.
I can give you, what do you want, like 5-6 articles that talk about this is not a pulmonary disease. This is a systemic multi-organ
Yes.
shit show,
Yes. Yes.
for lack of a better
And
word.
how each organ is being affected will be most appreciative so that it can reflect exactly um, what, why, how, and who. And then I need numbers. If you have numbers to go
Yep.
with that, yep.
So different articles have a different scale or different scope. Some are US based, some are this particular study in Cleveland Clinic. But there's lots of information out there I can gather for you around, the population, the prevalence in the United States is probably somewhere on the order of 200 to 300,000. That's the number we're talking about. Of those, this many resolve quickly with prednisone, and then the rest go on for decades to.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm being interrupted. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay. Susie, were you saying something?
Yeah, I forgot which tab you were on, so I couldn't find you. Something you said reminded me to send email to my doctor because my endocrinologist ordered the wrong vitamin D test, and my brain is not giving me the information I need. Remind me the D test that I need.
Kevin?
D125.
Mhm.
That's not the normal one. That's the
No,
other one.
that's the other one.
Okay.
If you'd like, I
Okay.
could send you an article or a little snapshot that my nutritionist gave me on why we need to test both of them.
Yeah, and I can't get my endocrinologist on board.
Okay, let me, what's the easiest way for you? You have your email there?
Yeah, email is good. Can you see it, or you need me to tell you what it is?
Just tell me what it is.
It's Susan, Susan, Joyce, Joyce, Torres, Torres, @gmail.
Gee. Oh, come on, fingers, work for me. Susan Joyce Torres.
Yep.
Where did I put that?
Okay, I sent the message. Doctor, yes, she did, Frank. I heard that. I heard that when she was talking about that, and I was like, I wish you would just talk to my doctors. Uh, oh, but Katie, I was going to talk to you about the skin sarc. Where do you have yours right now? Oh, she can't stay unmuted.
There we go. Sorry. Right now I haven't had it anywhere for quite a while, but I just keep getting. I know when I'm getting a flare. I mean, I can just tell it because it's just I have the same like burning in different parts of my body and just tingling in finger. I mean, just weird things start getting really heavy fatigue and just all of that. So and stuff, but I haven't had a skin flare in quite a while. You know what I mean? In quite a
Okay.
while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
did
that's
they diagnose your skin sarc with a biopsy?
yeah. They did a biopsy on it. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I've
how they
had
found it. But then I get all this, and I get swelling. My face, I can tell when I'm having a flare because my face swells, and like just, I can feel it in all my, like under my arms, just all those spots. I can feel the swelling and stuff. So,
I've had my skin sarc biopsied twice, and both times they just said it was dermatitis,
yeah.
and it pissed me off. And so I was getting really, really good at wearing. I don't know if this is causality or coincidence, but I was getting really good at wearing compression stockings because my doctor told me to. And now I have really bad rashes on both knees.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
mine
feel
hasn't
for
showed
you.
up for, like I said, my skin part hasn't showed up for a while, but then I have all the other, you know what I mean, where I get this, like I just start swelling up, you know. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's a big difference between, that.
Yeah, Frank's so funny.
Is that your evil twin, Frank?
Yeah. Is he unmuting himself or no?
I think maybe the cat's
I
got his
think he's
tongue.
typing again. Frank says it's not me in the picture. Disregard the cam. Oh,
So
you're too funny, Frank.
silly. That made me look at the picture, and I'm like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure that's Frank.
Wizard of Oz.
It's the wizard.
Now, the other things I wanted to mention to everyone, through Frank is that November 17th, we're having a celebration of life for Rodney. So if you mark it down, it's November 17th from 7 to 8:30.
And what's that going to look like, Kathleen?
What's that, hon?
What's that going to look like?
Frank's going to have people talking about Rodney and about sarcoidosis, and he himself will speak on, as long as he can talk about it, online.
So it would be like our support group?
No, not really like a support group. It's more of a celebration of life.
Right. But will it go out through ANCAN, or is it going to be
No,
private?
it's going to go separately. We're going to have a different platform.
Okay, so
yeah, it's going to be on it's going to be on StreamYard, and you're going to be able to see it on Facebook and on YouTube.
Look, I got Frank to come out.
You did.
Yeah.
So that's Eastern
There's
time,
actually
right?
an event page already on, it's an event page on Facebook now. I just put it up today. And I'll keep you all the information on there to let you guys know what site to look at. This way you don't have to sign into like this or Zoom. All you have to do is, either sign into Facebook or sign into the YouTube link, and you can chat away on there. And everybody that is speaking will be able to see what you chat on both Facebook and YouTube.
Okay.
They'll be able to see it on StreamYard. There will be 10 speakers, just so you know.
Who's speaking?
Let's see. We go down the list. It goes. Excuse me. Reverend Lowe, the one who spoke at his funeral, who also spoke at our social justice, very first social justice forum. He'll be, he's the pastor. He'll do the opening prayer, and then he'll also speak, because he's known Rodney for 30, 40 years. So he'll be the first one speaking. Mindy will be speaking. Marianne from Bernie Mac's foundation. That's Bernie Mac's sister-in-law. She's the executive director at Bernie Mac Foundation, so she'll be speaking. Jessica, Sabrina, because Sabrina, of course, lives in New Orleans, and Rodney taught her everything she knew about support groups. Trina. Who else? Cheryl and Chester and I.
Okay.
I think I got everybody. That's pretty much it. And Harriet, his wife, will be watching it. She's not going to speak, of course, but she will be watching the whole thing as well. Unconscious bias. Did you say there was some kind of assessment test? Yeah, it's going to be, instead of it being, down, of course people are going to be upset, and of course I'm sure there will be some crying, me included, but it will, we are going to try, especially towards the end, it's going to be kind of a round table, and we're all going to just talk about the funny things of Rodney, which there are plenty of. That could take an hour and a half in itself, but we're going to keep that as the end, towards the end there. Just to make sure that it's not all depressing as well. You want to celebrate his life. I don't know if any of you guys saw his funeral. It was a celebration of his life, the funeral itself. So I want to make sure that we keep it that way as well. And Rodney would kick our butt if we cried over him too much anyway. Okay, that's enough of me talking for the day.
Thanks, Frank.
Long way.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, the 18-year-old cat has a death wish.
It's okay. Still doesn't want to die, so it's all good.
I
It's just too
know.
fast.
I just never know.
You have your hands full.
Yeah, we've got 8 dachshunds and 3 cats, so yeah.
Wow, you
Wow.
definitely. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure you have sarcoidosis? You might just be tired from taking care of all those animals.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That is a lot. Oh my gosh. I have 2 dogs and a cat. So
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, you know. I believe you have sarcoidosis. Oh goodness. Kathleen, did you say how you're doing?
I'm healing, so I'm getting there. I had the hiatal hernia finally taken care of, so I'm just starting mushy foods. It's been 3 weeks of liquids, so and I don't know what goes on. I don't know if it's I don't know what. Anytime I have surgery, it seems like I'm in pass out mode. So once I get home, I keep passing out on my husband. Like I get out of the shower. Well, what had happened was 4 days after the surgery, I had had enough of cleaning up. I wanted a shower. So, my husband's outside on a Saturday, so I took a shower. I woke up on the floor with the water on me. So I dumped the water,
Goodness.
pulled the towel because it was right outside, and I just sat there and going, Joe, because we have a small walk-in shower, so that has a bench. I couldn't even pull myself up to the bench. I don't
Oh
know what
my
that is
goodness.
about. I don't know if it's surgery or if it's hot, cold, if it's blood pressure. They have no idea. I'm not going to get tested for anything anymore. I'm tired.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, you just get tired of doctors and tired of discussing this sarcoidosis, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm healing. So this is actually the first one that I've been longer than 15 minutes. Poor Kevin last time I came on and he's like, "Oh, good, you're here." I go, "I can't stay." I said, "I'm sorry." And by the way, just for our moderators, I will not be making any Tuesday meetings henceforth. My roll call wheelchair dance program is coming back in person, and we've been accepted as a partnership at YMCA for $0, which is exactly how much I make. So I'm really pleased that they're willing to partner with us. So I'm going to go back to that. And anybody that's out of state, I will still be doing the Zoom classes. So while we're having class in person, I teach on Zoom, so you can still join the class. So hey,
That's exciting.
if you guys ever want to just work on your muscles, just let me know because I've seated and standing partners. We work arms, neck, back, chest, not really legs except for the standing partners that have to stretch, and core. Core is big. So I figure if I ever have to land in a wheelchair, I will still be able to dance.
Yes. I
Yeah,
would totally be interested in that. That sounds interesting. I like that.
well, I have your email, so I'll send you the information.
Thank you. And
It's
I'm glad that you're going to be strong enough to do that.
I don't think I am, but so yeah, we do a lot of partner dancing. So it's roll call wheelchair is set up on hand to hand, face to face, heart to heart. So there's no one behind the
Oh,
chair because a normal person that's seated in a chair, we talk over their heads. And it's not done on purpose because they're seated in a chair. So
yeah.
everything is done with the person. So we usually, the handhold is this because we do a lot of ballroom. We do merengue, bachata, salsa, waltz, foxtrot. But I think what we're going to do is do more solo dancing temporarily until we're all comfortable. And I can't push anybody right now with my core being totally opened. So But
Yeah.
it'll be fun to be back in person. We will be in masks, so regardless if you're vaccinated or not, we're keeping our distance and hand sanitizer and all that kind of fun stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm glad to be back, so it is a good thing. Some normalcy, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been teaching on Zoom twice a week for the past year and a half. So
Wow.
it'll be nice to go back in person.
Yeah.
And they, the clientele, they need it, just like we need it. They need, it's more about getting together, working as a group, working as a team, actually being able to laugh, even cry sometimes, you know?
Yes.
So they need as much support as we do.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it. It's a good thing. Yay!
Yes. Frank is so funny. Which member of the Village People are you, Frank?
he, he is too funny. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. My mother-in-law is calling me and my husband's out there. Will somebody take over, please? I'll be right back. Yes.
Yes, Kathleen will take over.
We always have your back, Kathleen.
Uh, that's
Thank
funny.
you.
I
Be right
pictured
back.
you as the Indian cat, Frank. That's too funny. I love the Village People.
It's fun to stay at the Y. I would do it, but the shoulders aren't working right now. YMCA. I'm following the chat, and he's saying that a friend of his went out with an Indian from the YMCA for 3 years.
Oh, I didn't catch that one. Oh, very interesting. We need pictures.
Sorry. My husband will call his mommy.
Oh,
I said, Joe, why is your mother calling me? And he's like, I don't know. She didn't call me. I'm like, what, you want to call her? She's in a nursing home. She's been in a nursing home for, I want to say 23 to 25 years. She just became very depressed. She was extremely overweight. She married a very much younger man, younger than my husband. And, oh, stories. I could curl your hair. But because on top of it, that was my husband's best friend. And his mother and father got divorced or separated when we were engaged. And then it worked out that we got married May 17th. His mother got married to his best friend in June, and his father and new wife got married in July. And all of them had bigger weddings than what I did. And you had to see it at the wedding. I wish I could actually show you pictures one day, maybe when we're in person. So I had to have his father's side of the family here. Our tables, meaning my friends and family, were here, and then his mother's was over here. Wouldn't you know that my brother-in-law, who is 11 years younger than my husband, so he was, let's see, he got married 27, so 6, he was what, 16, 15, 16 years old. He catches the garter.
Oh no.
And my husband's mother catches the bouquet because she wasn't
Oh
married
my
yet.
goodness.
So then to put it on, I mean, do you want to put it on your mother? So then my husband's father's side of the family, who was totally trashed, his name is Manny, decides to put it on Carol. Oh my God, the fights. It's like, holy hell, man. You can't make this stuff up. You really can't.
No.
I had an interesting wedding.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
My goodness. My
So,
goodness.
but she just became extremely depressed and decided she wasn't getting out of a bed. So she continued to gain weight, and her feet kind of disformed underneath the covers, which I didn't even know you could do.
Oh, right?
She went to get out of the bed one day because she decided she was better and she was going to be able to do this, and she fell. Of course, taken to the hospital, then a nursing home, and she has never come out. She
Wow.
has no problem with people changing her, cleaning her. She doesn't get out of the bed. They need a Hoyer lift to get her out.
Wow. What happened to her husband, her young husband?
Interesting. Well, he's still around. They are still technically married, but he's living with another woman.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. So it pretty much leaves Joe and myself to get whatever she needs or whatever is happening. So I'm assuming she was calling because towards the end of the week, I do a Target order and she'll usually add to it.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't give a lot there. I don't like the nursing home, but she has a husband and he's the one that's the center of it. So anyway,
goodness.
sorry we got diverted there. I don't remember how. Oh, because my mother-in-law called.
That's okay. I was just looking. I'm going to see my mother-in-law on Saturday.
Okay. Where is she?
She lives with my sister-in-law, but she's got really bad dementia.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin, what have you
Yes.
decided? What tests? Because I see a whole bunch of new yellow stickies behind you.
Yes.
So
Which
where do you?
test?
Yeah.
It's the
What do you?
T125. I sent Susie the write-up on why it's
Oh,
important to test for both.
oh no, I didn't mean about the vitamin D. I
Oh,
mean with what's happening with you. How are you going? What's your thoughts? Because you're a great like clinician. You just keep going.
yeah. So I think what's not, have a CPET scheduled, cardiopulmonary exercise test, which will tell me whether my lungs have improved or degraded from 3 years ago when I had my last one. It'll also give me whether I need cardio rehabilitation or I'm fit enough to, carry on. The good news, bad news. So the first fall I had last year, I fell on my left side and I hit my head. I lost consciousness. That was as I was walking out to my car. And chalk it up to 2020, managed to get myself up and get into the car and didn't realize what was going on. I was in a total blackout and drove the vehicle and ended up going the wrong way on a one-way street, head first into another vehicle. And the outcome was DUI, even though I had not much to drink. I just was in a complete blackout and refused a breathalyzer because I didn't need one because I hadn't been drinking. But that's not what came out of my mouth, and that resulted in an immediate arrest. And they didn't want to hear anything else. I said no, and therefore I lose my license for 14 months. And so I don't have a vehicle. I have a vehicle, I don't have a license. So I bought an e-bike. I've been biking everywhere for the summer and fall. So I'm in much better shape than I was before. So I expect the CPET to go well. I think that, I have to meet with my rheumatologist to see if they adjust the CellCept. I'm on 2 grams a day right now. I don't think it's containing the disease. Obviously, it's out of my heart, but it's in other places, so they may want to increase that or put me on a maintenance dose of prednisone, and I'm hoping that's not the case. That was not my friend. And this time last year, I was on 13 medications a day. 4 of them were to offset the effects of prednisone. 2 of them were to offset the effects of other drugs I was taking. And I worked really, really hard in the past 12 months to unwind as much of that as I can, and hoping to keep it off. So I think, get up every day and try and make the most of it. I'm in conversations with my pulmonologist support group for Jefferson Hospital University, and we're going to try and figure out what that looks like. Is it part nutrition, part I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll figure it out as we go along. I don't need to know. I just need to know I'm committed to it, and that's part of my purpose right now.
You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep busy, trying to create purpose and create possibility in the future, and it's much better than where I was last year, which was sad and depressed and angry at the world and angry at the guy that hit me in January. Trying to move on. Actually, speaking of the accident, the 2 years is coming to a close, and we'll figure out what the lawsuit's going to look like. Whether it's just pain and suffering and bangs and bruises, or whether it can tie in the whole sarcoidosis flare to it.
Okay. Wow.
That's highly unlikely at this point, because I need a doctor to stand up and say, without a reasonable doubt, this caused that. We don't even know what causes it, so how can one cause the other? So I'm convinced in my mind that was the trigger. But it was interesting to find out that when you're going after damages, the burden of proof is on you. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the motor vehicle accident caused my flare up and caused it to get in my heart, or caused it to get worse. It's a pretty high bar.
It is, unfortunately. I was rear-ended a couple of years back. I don't remember how many, 3, 4, maybe longer. Frank remembers I hurt my shoulder. I really did. They took me to the hospital, the whole 9 yards. And it wasn't like he was going at a good clip. We were only about 10, 15 miles an hour. But when I tell you, I knew something was wrong, and you can't sue for it. I tried. I got a really good attorney, and they wouldn't let me. I was stuck at a stop sign. I wasn't even moving.
Right, same here. I wasn't moving. He hit me like 40 miles an hour. He destroyed my car.
Yeah,
My
I didn't
whole
get
back
destroyed.
end blown up.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. It doesn't make sense if it's no fault. And that's what I said to the police officer. I was like, how is this no fault? I was at a stop sign. He pushed me beyond the stop sign.
right, he pushed me right through the intersection.
Yeah, I know. So nobody will come forward and say that it was, doesn't make a difference. It is
I
what
thought
it
when
is.
you're rear-ended, it's automatic fault, or is that only in certain states?
No,
Only in
it's
certain
fault, but
states.
you can't sue beyond the coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so if I can get whatever he has for third party injury, it's $20,000, $30,000.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go for a year and a half of my life lost. I'm on disability now. My heart has a pacemaker that goes off whenever it wants. What's the pain and suffering of all that?
Right. Yeah, you got to find a doctor that'll step up to that.
Yeah. Let you know when
Yeah.
I find one.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think they're all too scared of each other to do something.
Yeah, and they don't want to be on the wrong side of litigation, and most of at least the doctors in my team have been disinterested because they're more interested in getting me better. So that at least is a positive.
It is.
But finding, I did all the research. I wrote a case study, and stress, physical trauma, all of that, anything that upsets your body, your immune system can get involved. And our immune systems are already haywire, so that physical trauma can, I talk to people online in FSRs, so, chat groups and whatever. I put up this whole, hey, this is what happened, and anyone else have anything similar? And the stories I heard back were like, heart wrenching. Like a guy's son committed suicide, and he had a major flare up. Another guy fell off the ladder and lost his hearing. His sarcoidosis flared in his ears. It's like
So weird.
You can't make this correlation, but you can't make it up either. I got dozens of responses about, this happened and then this happened, and sarcoidosis was the commonality. So that was really helpful to make sure I take care of my mental health, keep my stress levels down, meditation, so I'm not stressing myself. Watching what I eat. I don't eat any processed food. I only eat organic because the crap they put in industrial food makes you sick. And we're already sick, so it just gets us sicker. So, that was another piece of it. Sleep hygiene, exercise, these are all, different pillars that can help build your resilience. So in case there is a stressor, it's not the tipping point. That's what it occurs for me, and it's been working so far. Except this latest round of pains and aches and all of that, it just doesn't make sense to me. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, it's almost like you're blindsided. Now you want to see somebody who's nice and relaxed. Look at Katie.
She's ready to sleep.
Yeah. Little one's on her. Oh, don't wake the pup.
Don't you have a cat to go harass?
Look at that. It's perfect. The dog went right back to sleep, Katie.
I know. There we go.
That's too cute. Is that how you keep him from going after the 18-year-old?
Sometimes. Why am I not off mute?
No. You're not muted.
Am I not? Oops.
You are not. I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me? It's
I
still
can.
showing the thing.
Oh, now it is.
Yes, we hear you. Now you're muted.
Let's see. Hold on, Katie. Let's see. Send unmute request. Try that.
And apparently we can mute her, but we can't unmute her.
I can. Use the three dots up on the right corner, and it says unmute request sent.
Right, so she has to acknowledge it and accept it.
Right.
You can mute her, but you can't unmute her. Whoa. Where is it? All right, Frank, how'd you do that? He's smiling.
Katie, I think we can hear you now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't
Yes.
see her anymore. Where'd she go?
Yes, she went into cognito.
I went into
Oh, I thought she left.
No,
There we
she's still
go.
there.
Sneaky.
I'm still here now.
Katie is lurking. Katie's really lurking.
Katie's lurking. Frank, take yours down. It's only up to Katie now.
Unmute. Okay. Unmute. There we go.
All right, everyone. I need to run.
Okay.
See you on the first Tuesday of the month. Or the
All right.
celebration of life, whichever comes first. Thanks for posting that, Frank.
I think the first Tuesday will be before the 17th.
I believe
It
you're
will be.
correct, Susan.
So Kevin, I'll catch you on the 17th and then the Thursday, and he's gone.
It's gone.
Yep. So did anybody want to talk about anything else, Katie? You know?
I mean, other than just that, like Kevin was talking about, kind of all the. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wait. All right. Just other than him talking about like all the trauma and me being a therapist, and I absorb a lot from my clients, and it really does kind of, what I mean, definitely kind of makes me wonder about, what I mean, you know,
Your
between
job.
having flares and stuff like I do anyway.
Mm.
You
Is
know.
there a way that you, other than the puppy falling asleep on you, is there is there a way that you like decompress?
Well, I mean, I've got a supervisor. I've had so much going on. I don't as much as I should, and that's probably. I mean, I take care of my mom. We've been cleaning out her house. Her former house. On top of it, so I'm literally taking care of like 3 houses in a way. We've almost got that one ready to sell. So I mean, it's just there's just not lot of time for stuff.
Yeah. So you don't have
So.
any downtime even yourself.
No, not very much, and that's what makes it really difficult. And that's what I gotta start doing, is figuring out how to, what I mean, have some more of it, because I do kind of worry about, as much as I, what I mean. 'Cause I do work with a lot of high trauma, what I mean, kids and different thing like that, and regardless of how well you do it, it's still, what I mean. I'm still being a container for a lot of things for them, you know.
Yeah. And you need to open that container and let it out.
Yeah, well, and I mean, and also, I'm trying to help them regulate too, and that's why I just didn't even do any sessions, because I couldn't self-regulate myself with this whole heart thing going on. I just wasn't feeling safe enough to regulate. Like, I wasn't able to regulate myself.
So before you had a job, what did you like to do for fun?
Fished and gardened and just did, what I mean. That's probably my 2 things. Yeah, played with my birds. We've got a whole bunch, like 40 chickens and turkeys, and yeah.
So can you
So
make
I had a lot more time to do things. It seemed like I wasn't just always just so overwhelmingly busy all the time. So I'm gonna try to, if we're almost done with her house, so hopefully maybe I can get back to doing that, because I've been at this, I don't know, I think probably like 5 years of like caregiving between, my dad passing and just, all of that. I think it's been at least 5 years of this continued, what I mean, major stress. Yeah.
right where you
Yeah.
can't blow off steam yourself?
No, because I mean, there's just too much to take. I mean, there's just so many. Everybody has so many needs, and and stuff too, and
I do.
and stuff. My brother's like, well, it'll be, Dad passed, it'll be easier, and I'm like, Mom, I still have got to go over there and help my mom do stuff. And even before they got, where that we still were going over there and helping them do different things before they got where they really couldn't do that much. We were already going over and having to help do a lot of things for them anyway. So,
Yeah.
my husband and I and stuff. So we kind of have to tag team it and, get it done.
Yeah.
So.
But even if I remember this wise woman who told me one day that don't forget you're worth it too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that's,
even if it's 15 minutes a
yeah,
day.
and that's what I've been trying. That's what I'm gonna do, the group. I'm like, and I'm gonna, what I mean. I'm doing my own personal counseling, because this like Sark just throws a whole monkey wrench in your whole life anyway, and stuff. And I just try to provide a lot of, what I mean, support for myself to kind of try to get through this. Like I said, the heart thing kind of threw me a little bit there. Because usually I just kind of puff and puffed for a while and then swelled up, and then the steroids would usually take it down, and then I'd feel better. And this time I didn't know what was going on, so and
It
still
was
don't
scary.
really.
It's
But I
scary.
just know when I'm not feeling well enough to be able to do a session is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't lose yourself to the
No,
sarcoidosis. It's not worth it. Right, Miss Susie?
no.
Yeah, it is true though that the prolonged stress and elevated stress, it does increase symptoms. I've been sitting here scratching a little rash popped up on my finger. Like, yeah, since I've moved into the hotel, I've been getting rashes all over my body. So I guess it's not the compression stockings. Like, I thought that was going to be a good excuse not to wear them, but darn.
It's
But
just
yeah,
you're out of your element. You're out of your out of your safe place, and
yeah,
it's got to be hard. I mean, you know.
yep. Yeah. So I was just saying that to agree with you that, like what Kevin was saying, when you get that stuff all piled on, it does seem to make the sarc flare
Oh,
more.
I mean, I can usually like if a bunch of stuff happened, I'm like, and then I flare. I'm like, oh, lovely. I'm like, and
Yeah.
I've been trying to kind of be better about noticing things before they happen. You know what I mean? To kind of, or at least take a little bit of time, or pace myself a little bit better. But and stuff. But I mean, me taking 2 weeks off for this was just, I mean, I don't think I've ever, bounced back, gallbladder, went back, as soon as doctor cleared me, went back. I mean, you name it. I've had other stuff happen, before Sark and pretty much just bounced right back. You know what I mean? Like, like you get your doctor note, you're going back to work,
Yep.
you know what I mean? You're doing whatever,
Yep.
and this time I was just like, I was just like, this is not, just kind of kept monitoring, like, this is not going away very well right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
just
you
was
got,
really tired and just really, really tired. I mean, just slept a lot. And, I did go in the office. I just caught up on stuff and stuff. But yeah, finally I was like, I don't think I've ever taken 2 weeks for anything.
yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, and hopefully you can get back into it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too.
So just set your mind to it and say, you can do this.
Yep.
But Cleveland Clinic too, keep working on that. That's really
Yeah,
important.
I'm definitely, yeah, I want to get out. I want to get up there and just get a good baseline so I kind of know what's, what I mean, what's going on, and what I mean, so I'm not having flares every, just kind of whenever it decides to pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to fight it, or I try to rest a little bit more. I don't know, trying to figure out which is the best method anymore, you
Mm.
know, and stuff, and or if it's better just to take a few days and just, rest. But I am an independent contractor, so it does make a little bit of a difference that I'm not an employee, or because I couldn't have
Yes.
probably taken 2 weeks if I was an employee,
Mm.
especially with even getting the doctors. I mean, I got cleared to go back to work, but I just
Okay.
didn't feel good enough to, what I mean. I tried and it just was not
Mm-hmm.
working.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, I hope
Yeah.
you can accomplish a whole bunch before November 2nd when we get to see you again.
Alrighty,
Yes.
alrighty.
It was
Look
Well,
at
you guys,
Kathleen with the date.
huh?
November 1st. Got it.
Yep, November 2nd.
So, and it was very nice meeting you, Katie.
Nice meeting you guys too.
Thank you, Susie. And it was wonderful seeing you. Thanks for coming
Thank
on
you.
tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you
Frank
for
says
being here.
bye.
Bye, Frank.
Bye.
Bye, Frank. Bye, Trina. Good night, everybody.
Good
Alrighty.
night.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.